Starting college is one of the most exciting and overwhelming experiences you'll ever have. It's that huge step into a new world, full of new people, new ideas, and endless possibilities. But let's be honest, it's also a time of big changes, and along with that excitement comes a lot of pressure. You're not just figuring out classes and schedules, you're figuring out who you are and who you want to become. It's normal to feel a little lost, even a little overwhelmed. Trust me, every student goes through this phase. And here's the truth. Embracing those feelings of uncertainty is part of the process. You are growing, and growth is messy. But here's the thing. You don't have to navigate your first year of college alone. In this video, we're going to explore some crucial strategies and tips that will help you not only survive your first year, but truly thrive. We're going to talk about how to set yourself up for success, mentally, academically, and socially, by developing the right mindset, building meaningful relationships, setting practical goals, and prioritizing your emotional well-being. These are the things that will not only get you through your first year, but also lay a strong foundation for the rest of your college journey. Now, I know it might feel like a lot right now. You might be juggling a million things, trying to find balance, and figuring out how to manage your time. It's a lot to take in. But here's the good news, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to take it one step at a time, and that's exactly what we're going to help you with today. So, whether you're a freshman still adjusting to campus life, or you're looking to make your college experience more meaningful, I've got something for you in this video. We're going to unpack the mindset shifts, goal-setting strategies, and self-care techniques that will make your college experience not just bearable, but truly fulfilling. Before we jump in, I'd love for you to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video like this. And here's a question for you. What's the one thing you're most nervous about as you head into your first year of college? Drop a comment below, and let's start a conversation about it. Your thoughts might just help someone else who's feeling the same way. All right, let's dive in. Welcome to a brand new chapter of your life, the first year of college. It's an exciting yet daunting time, filled with new experiences, challenges, and opportunities for growth. Whether you're watching this while packing up your belongings or during a study break, let me say this, you're not alone. Every single college student has faced the whirlwind of emotions you're probably feeling right now. Excitement, fear, anticipation, maybe even doubt. And that's what today's video is all about. Navigating the pivotal first year of college with confidence and clarity. We're diving into the mindset shift strategies and lessons you need to thrive. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a clear vision of how to embrace this transition while setting yourself up for long-term success, both academically and personally. But before we jump in, I want you to think about this. What's your biggest hope for your college journey? Is it to excel in your classes, meet your lifelong friends, or maybe just figure out who you truly are? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you're already enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Let's build a community where we can all grow together. Now, let's get started. Let's begin with the foundation of everything, your mindset. The first year of college isn't just about academics. It's a period of transformation, of becoming someone new. Many of you may feel the pressure to have it all figured out right away. Your major, your social circle, your daily routine. But here's the truth. It's okay not to have all the answers. Think of college as a blank canvas. Yes, it's intimidating to stare at a blank page, but it's also freeing. You get to choose the colors, the brush strokes, the scenes you want to paint. Your first year is about exploration and self-discovery. Instead of fixating on what you don't know or what you fear, focus on what you can learn. That shift from a fear of failure to a curiosity about growth can be a game changer. Let me share a story. There was a student named Maya who started college feeling completely out of her depth. Everyone around her seemed so confident and put together, while she felt like she was just pretending to keep up. But something clicked for her when a professor told her, "Everyone here is pretending at first. You're all here to learn, not to already know." That one sentence changed her perspective. She stopped comparing herself to others and started focusing on her own progress. By the end of her first year, she didn't just survive, she thrived. So, what's the takeaway here? It's to embrace the process, even the messy parts. Growth isn't linear. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, and others you'll feel like you're in free fall. Both are normal, and both are part of the journey. Now, let's talk about setting goals. This is where things get practical. Having a clear direction, even if it changes over time, can give your first year more focus and purpose. But here's the trick. Don't just set long-term goals like graduate with honors or land my dream internship. While those are great aspirations, they can sometimes feel overwhelming. Balance them with short-term, achievable goals. For example, instead of saying, I want to ace every exam, start with, I'll dedicate 2 hours tonight to studying for my upcoming quiz. Instead of, I want to make a ton of friends, say, I'll attend one club meeting this week and introduce myself to 2 people. These smaller, manageable steps build momentum. Each one gives you a little win to celebrate and keeps you motivated to tackle the next challenge. And here's a fun exercise to try. Write down your goals for the first semester, no matter how big or small. Then, tuck that list away somewhere safe, maybe in a journal or a notes app. At the end of the semester, revisit it. You might be surprised by how much you've accomplished, even if you didn't check off everything. The act of setting an intention is powerful in itself. Of course, college isn't just about academics and achievements, it's also about relationships. This is your chance to meet people from all walks of life, each with their own stories, perspectives, and dreams. And trust me, some of these people will become lifelong friends. But let's be real. Putting yourself out there can be scary, especially if you're more introverted or shy. One of the best ways to build connections is to start small. Say hi to the person sitting next to you in class. Join a club that genuinely interests you, not just one that looks good on a resume. Attend campus events, even if they feel a little awkward at first. Remember, everyone else is looking for connections too. You'd be surprised at how receptive people are when you take the first step. And here's something important to remember: quality over quantity. It's better to have a few close friends who truly understand and support you than a large circle of acquaintances you can't rely on. Focus on building meaningful relationships, and don't be afraid to let go of connections that don't feel right for you. We're just getting started, and there's so much more to explore. Up next, we'll dive into the importance of mental health and how to create a balanced, fulfilling college experience. Stick around because this part is crucial. You won't want to miss it. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in the hustle and bustle of college life: your mental health. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new experiences, deadlines, and the constant pressure to perform at your best. But let's be real, your emotional well-being is just as important as your academic success. In fact, it might even be the key to ensuring long-term success in everything else. We've all heard it before, right? College is stressful. But here's the thing. It's not just about the exams or the essays piling up. It's the constant juggling act of managing your time, figuring out who you are, and adjusting to life away from home. It can feel overwhelming, like you're carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders that no one sees. And that's okay. Feeling stressed, anxious, or even isolated at times is a normal part of the college experience. But here's where it's important to make a shift in how you think about stress. Instead of letting it control you, recognize it as a signal that something needs attention. It could be your workload. It could be your sleep schedule. It could even be a lack of connection with others. The point is that stress isn't always a bad thing. It's an opportunity to listen to your body and mind and take action before things spiral. Take a moment to think about how you handle stress right now. Do you bottle it up and push through? Do you distract yourself with endless social media scrolls, hoping that somehow things will calm down? Or do you allow yourself to acknowledge your feelings and take proactive steps to address them? If you're not sure, don't worry. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to making a change. One of the most crucial habits you can build is learning how to prioritize your mental health alongside everything else. One of the best ways to do this is by utilizing the resources available to you. Most colleges have counseling services that are designed to support students during tough times. Don't wait until you're in crisis mode to reach out. Use these resources early when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, but before it gets to a breaking point. Beyond professional support, there are everyday habits you can develop to keep your mental health in check. For instance, did you know that something as simple as going for a walk can do wonders for your mood? Physical movement has been shown to reduce stress levels and improve overall well-being. If you don't have time for a workout, try a short walk after class or during lunch breaks. It might seem small, but these little acts of self-care add up over time. Another simple but effective strategy is practicing mindfulness. You don't need to sit in silence for hours or meditate on a mountaintop. Mindfulness can be as simple as taking 5 minutes before you start your homework to breathe deeply and center yourself. When you're feeling stressed or anxious, a quick mindful break can help reset your nervous system and give you the mental space to move forward. Let me share a quick example of how mindfulness can work in everyday life. Sarah, a first-year student, found herself constantly feeling overwhelmed with assignments, extracurricular activities, and social events. She was burning out quickly, trying to keep up with everything. One day, she decided to try a simple mindfulness exercise. Every morning before she opened her laptop, she took 5 minutes to close her eyes, breathe deeply, and remind herself that she didn't have to do everything at once. This small practice didn't magically solve all her problems, but it helped her approach her tasks with a sense of calm that made a huge difference in her stress levels. The other aspect of mental health you can't overlook is social support. College can feel isolating at times, especially when you're in a new environment. You're far from home, and you might not know many people. But the good news is that you're surrounded by thousands of other students going through the same thing. Everyone is learning how to build relationships, how to manage their time, and how to handle stress. You don't have to figure it out alone. Find your community, whether it's through study groups, clubs, or other campus activities. You don't have to be the life of the party to build meaningful connections. Even just having a couple of friends you can rely on makes a huge difference when it comes to your mental health. And remember, it's okay to lean on others. College isn't just about achieving your academic goals, it's about growing as a person. This includes learning how to ask for help when you need it, whether it's from a counselor, a professor, or a fellow student. But what if you feel like you don't have the time to build these relationships, or you're afraid of being judged? That's something a lot of students face. You're already juggling classes, exams, and possibly a part-time job. But the truth is, building a support system actually makes everything else easier. When you have people to talk to, people who understand and support you, it creates a buffer against the stress that inevitably comes with college life. And don't forget the importance of sleep. It sounds so basic, but it's incredible how many students neglect their sleep while trying to cram in more studying or social activities. Lack of sleep can exacerbate feelings of anxiety and stress, so make it a priority. Try creating a sleep routine that helps you wind down each night, whether it's reading, listening to calming music, or doing some light stretching. Now, we've talked about stress management and support systems, but here's something else to keep in mind. Don't forget about fun. College isn't just about studying and planning your future. It's also about living in the moment and enjoying the experience. Take time to go out with friends, explore new hobbies, and take part in activities that make you laugh. Remember, life's a marathon, not a sprint, and if you're constantly focused on the finish line, you might miss out on the beauty of the journey. So, take a deep breath. It's normal to feel overwhelmed. It's normal to struggle. But with the right mindset, support system, and self-care practices in place, you can not only survive your first year of college, you can thrive. Next, let's talk about building lasting relationships and why they're so crucial to your college experience. Whether you're looking to network for your future career or simply seeking lifelong friendships, these connections can make all the difference. Stay with me, because this next part is going to change how you approach your social life on campus. All right, so we've discussed managing stress and prioritizing your mental health, but there's one more incredibly important aspect of your first year that can shape the rest of your college experience: relationships. I'm talking about the connections you'll build with the people around you, your classmates, professors, and those you meet outside the classroom. College is an ecosystem, and these relationships are the threads that connect you to opportunities, growth, and yes, even happiness. Let's start with friendships. You've probably heard this a million times already, but it's true. College is where you'll make lifelong friends. Now, I know that might sound cliché, but I want you to pause for a second and really think about it. College is one of the few places where you have the freedom to meet people from all walks of life. People who challenge you, broaden your perspectives, and shape who you'll become. And it's not just about finding friends to hang out with on weekends. These are people who could inspire you, teach you new things, or even offer you support when you need it the most. So, how do you go about building those deep connections? It's all about putting yourself out there, even when it feels uncomfortable. You might not click with everyone you meet, and that's okay. But the more you put yourself in situations where you meet new people, the better your chances of finding your tribe. Start by attending club meetings or campus events. Don't just show up because you think it looks good on a resume. Show up because you're genuinely interested in something. If you like photography, join a photography club. If you're passionate about social justice, find a group that advocates for change. The key here is that when you connect with people around shared interests, the conversations come more naturally. Now, let's talk about professors. For many of you, this might be the first time you're really getting to know someone in an academic setting in this way. Professors aren't just the authority figures who hand out grades. They can also become mentors, advisors, or even colleagues in the future. The more you engage with them, the more they get to know you as a person, not just a student in their lecture hall. A lot of students believe they need to keep their interactions with professors strictly formal or academic. But the truth is, professors are people too. They're often more than willing to help students who show genuine interest and initiative. So, don't be afraid to introduce yourself during office hours or ask about research opportunities. Those little interactions can make a big impact, not just on your grades, but on your personal and professional growth. Take, for example, James, a freshman who was struggling with a complex chemistry course. He felt like he was falling behind and wasn't sure if he'd make it through the semester. But instead of giving up or staying silent, he made an effort to speak with his professor during office hours. Turns out the professor had some great suggestions for study resources and even pointed him toward a study group. By the end of the semester, James didn't just pass the course, he developed a strong relationship with the professor that would help him in the years to come, including internship opportunities down the line. So, the lesson here is simple. Don't overlook the power of the relationships you can build with your professors. They can be instrumental in your academic journey and may even open doors that you hadn't thought about before. But here's where things can get tricky. What happens if you feel like you don't belong? What if you struggle to make those connections and start feeling lonely? Loneliness is something that a lot of students experience, especially during the first year when everything feels new and overwhelming. It's natural to have moments when you feel isolated, but it's important to recognize that loneliness is temporary and it's something you can change. A great way to deal with loneliness is by volunteering or finding service opportunities on campus. When you give your time to others, it takes the focus off your own struggles and shifts your energy into building positive experiences with others. Plus, you'll meet people who share your values and are looking to make a difference too. You could also get involved in group projects or team-based assignments, which can be a natural way to meet people and work toward a common goal. These types of interactions allow you to connect with classmates in a less intimidating, more collaborative environment. Remember, you don't have to have everything figured out right away. Building relationships takes time, and sometimes it's about quality over quantity. Having a few close friends, mentors, or acquaintances you can count on is more meaningful than trying to spread yourself too thin. But building these connections is about more than just friendships. It's about professional networking too. College is where you start to lay the foundation for your future career. The people you meet during your first year could be the ones you work with in your chosen field, so it's important to start developing those professional relationships early. You might be wondering, how do I network when I'm just starting out? Well, networking doesn't always have to be a formal event or a business card exchange. It can start with simple interactions like attending a career fair, engaging in class discussions, or even emailing a professor about research opportunities. Networking is about building rapport and trust, and it's about showing up consistently. For example, consider a student named Emily. She was unsure about what she wanted to do after graduation, but she knew she loved marketing. So, she attended a guest lecture by a marketing expert on campus. Afterward, she took the initiative to introduce herself, and they ended up talking for nearly 20 minutes about the industry. That conversation led to an internship opportunity the following summer. Emily's proactive approach wasn't just about showing interest in marketing, it was about connecting with someone who could help her grow in her career. Now, you might feel hesitant to put yourself out there, especially if you're more introverted or shy. That's okay. Networking doesn't always come naturally to everyone, and it's normal to feel nervous at first. The key is to start small. Introduce yourself to one new person a week. Follow up with a professor after a lecture. Join a student organization and show up to their meetings regularly. With each small step, your network will grow, and you'll start to see the fruits of your efforts in ways you might not expect. Remember, relationships in college are multifaceted. They're about learning from others, supporting each other, and eventually forming lasting bonds that go beyond graduation. And in today's world, many of these connections have the power to shape your professional life, too. Now that you've got a better understanding of how to build relationships in college, we'll dive deeper into how to set yourself up for success beyond just making friends and networking. In the next segment, we'll focus on setting personal and academic goals that align with your long-term aspirations. So stick around, there's still so much more to explore. Now that we've covered the importance of mindset and building meaningful relationships, let's get down to something equally important: setting goals that not only help you navigate college, but also set you up for long-term success. College can feel like a whirlwind at times, and it's easy to get lost in the chaos. So, how do you keep your eyes on the prize, especially when you're faced with new distractions, temptations, and challenges? The first thing you need to understand is that setting goals in college is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's not just about your grades, although that's definitely part of it. It's about creating a holistic vision for your college years, one that balances your academics, personal growth, mental health, and future career. If you focus on just one aspect, you risk burning out or feeling unfulfilled. Let's break down how to set both short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals are the actions you take daily, weekly, and monthly to stay on track. These are the goals that will keep you moving forward when the larger vision feels too distant or overwhelming. Short-term goals give you clarity and a sense of accomplishment, which is incredibly important in the chaotic first year of college. For example, let's say you're struggling with a class and the final exam is months away. A long-term goal like ace my final exam might feel too far off to feel motivating. Instead, you could break it down into smaller short-term goals, review lecture notes after every class, or meet with my professor for extra help this week. These are small actions that you can realistically accomplish, and by accomplishing them, you build momentum and stay on top of your work, one step at a time. Now, let's look at another common example: balancing social life with academics. It's easy to let your social life take over, or on the flip side, to become so focused on studying that you neglect the social side of college. This can lead to feelings of isolation or burnout. So, a short-term goal might be something like, attend one club event or hang out with friends this weekend. It's a simple way to ensure that you're not just hitting the books, but also enjoying the college experience. Remember, short-term goals are flexible. College is a dynamic environment, and you'll need to adjust your goals as your needs change. The key is to keep it manageable and realistic. Long-term goals are your guiding stars, the dreams and aspirations you're working toward throughout your college years. These goals are usually bigger and more abstract, and they often take longer to achieve. For example, you might have long-term goals like graduate with honors, land a job in my dream field, or develop a strong professional network. But just because these goals are big doesn't mean they're out of reach. The key to achieving long-term goals is breaking them down into smaller, actionable steps that you can incorporate into your short-term goals. This is where your daily habits and weekly actions really start to add up. Let's take the goal of land a job in my dream field as an example. It's a huge goal, right? But you can start by asking yourself, what steps do I need to take to make this possible? Maybe you'll decide to focus on building your resume, networking with industry professionals, or gaining relevant experience through internships. Over time, those steps will lead to the achievement of your long-term goal. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked long-term goals: personal growth. College is a time of discovering who you are and what you stand for. You might want to develop more confidence, become a better communicator, or learn new skills. These personal goals are just as important as your academic ones because they contribute to the kind of person you'll become in the future. Personal development is an ongoing process in every experience in college. Whether it's a difficult class, a challenge in your social life, or a failure in your personal goals, is an opportunity for growth. Take, for example, a student named Jessica. When she started college, she was shy and uncomfortable in social situations. But over the years, she made a conscious effort to put herself in situations that pushed her out of her comfort zone. She joined a public speaking group, volunteered to lead group projects, and took on leadership roles in clubs. By the time she graduated, Jessica was not only academically successful, but she also had the confidence and communication skills she needed to land a leadership role in her dream job. That's the power of combining both academic and personal long-term goals. They're not separate, they're interwoven, and your personal growth during college will set the stage for success in every aspect of your life, including your career. Setting goals is just the first step. Actually achieving them requires discipline, time management, and a sense of purpose. Here's where creating a structured plan comes into play. One of the best ways to stay on track is to create a weekly or monthly schedule. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a simple planner or digital calendar where you write down what you need to accomplish each week. Make sure you include both academic and personal goals, and try to keep your goals balanced so that you're focusing on all aspects of your life. Don't forget to schedule in time for breaks and self-care too. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle of work, but this will eventually lead to burnout. Schedule breaks throughout your day, whether it's a quick walk, a coffee break with friends, or a short mindfulness session. These moments of rest will recharge your energy and keep you motivated to keep going. Another important thing to remember about goal setting is that things don't always go according to plan, and that's okay. College is unpredictable, and life will throw curveballs at you. You might miss a deadline or face an unexpected challenge. When that happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, adapt and recalibrate your goals as needed. Flexibility is key to keeping your momentum, even when things don't go perfectly. And here's a reminder, your goals will evolve over time. As you grow and learn more about yourself, your aspirations may shift. That's perfectly normal, and it's part of the process. Stay open to change and be kind to yourself as you work toward your goals. Now that you've got a solid grasp on how to set and achieve both short-term and long-term goals, let's dive into something else that's equally important to your college experience: self-care and emotional well-being. Trust me, this next section is one you won't want to miss, especially as we move toward the home stretch of your first year. Keep watching to find out why self-care is the secret ingredient to your overall success. Another important thing to remember about goal setting is that things don't always go according to plan, and that's okay. College is unpredictable, and life will throw curveballs at you. You might miss a deadline or face an unexpected challenge. When that happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, adapt and recalibrate your goals as needed. Flexibility is key to keeping your momentum, even when things don't go perfectly. And here's a reminder, your goals will evolve over time. As you grow and learn more about yourself, your aspirations may shift. That's perfectly normal, and it's part of the process. Stay open to change and be kind to yourself as you work toward your goals. Now that you've got a solid grasp on how to set and achieve both short-term and long-term goals, let's dive into something else that's equally important to your college experience: self-care and emotional well-being. Trust me, this next section is one you won't want to miss, especially as we move toward the home stretch of your first year. Keep watching to find out why self-care is the secret ingredient to your overall success. Let's start with the basics: physical self-care. It might sound simple, but in the whirlwind of college life, it's easy to neglect your body. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition, and sedentary lifestyles are all too common among college students. But If you're not taking care of your physical health, everything else becomes harder to manage. Mental health, academic performance, and social relationships can all be negatively impacted if your body isn't getting what it needs. The first step to taking care of your body is getting enough sleep. I get it, you've got assignments, social events, and late-night study sessions that might tempt you to skimp on rest. But here's the thing. Sleep is essential for memory consolidation, focus, and overall emotional balance. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours per night. If you're someone who struggles with falling asleep, create a consistent sleep routine that signals to your body that it's time to wind down. This could mean putting your phone away an hour before bed, dimming the lights, or doing a bit of light stretching. Another key component of physical self-care is eating well. College dining halls often serve up fast, convenient food, but your body thrives on nutritious meals that fuel your brain and energy levels. Eating a balanced diet can have a direct impact on your mood and ability to focus. If you're not sure where to start, aim to fill your plate with colorful fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Don't skip meals, and remember, hydration is just as important. Carrying a water bottle with you throughout the day is a small habit that can make a big difference. And don't forget exercise. You don't need to become a gym rat, but staying physically active is essential for reducing stress and boosting your mood. Try to find an activity you enjoy, whether it's walking, yoga, swimming, or dancing. A little movement every day can do wonders for both your body and mind. As you navigate the ups and downs of college life, it's important to prioritize your emotional well-being. College is a time of significant personal growth, but it can also be a time of confusion, loneliness, and uncertainty. Being away from home for the first time, adjusting to new academic pressures, and meeting new people can trigger feelings of anxiety and self-doubt. And while stress is a natural part of life, chronic emotional strain can lead to burnout if left unaddressed. So, what can you do to manage your emotions in healthy ways? First, allow yourself to feel. It's okay to be sad, anxious, or frustrated sometimes. Emotions are natural, and you don't have to push them away or pretend they don't exist. However, it's important not to let those emotions control you. One way to stay emotionally balanced is to develop a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness isn't just for yogis. It's for anyone who wants to improve their emotional regulation. You don't need to meditate for hours every day, but setting aside a few minutes each morning or evening to practice mindfulness can help center your thoughts and bring a sense of calm to your day. This might involve deep breathing exercises, journaling, or even just being present in the moment without distractions. Even small moments of mindfulness can make a huge difference in your ability to handle stress and emotional ups and downs. Another way to nurture your emotional health is to build a support system. This is where the relationships you've started forming in college become crucial. Surround yourself with friends who uplift you, professors who encourage you, and campus resources, like counseling services, that provide professional support. It's okay to ask for help when you need it. Emotional self-care is about acknowledging when you're struggling and reaching out for support. One of the most powerful things you can do for your emotional well-being is to practice self-compassion. College can be tough, and you'll face challenges. Whether that's in the classroom, socially, or personally, it's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned. But self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a friend in the same situation. So when you mess up or fall short, give yourself grace and remember that setbacks are part of the learning process. Finally, let's talk about social self-care, which might be one of the most fun, yet most neglected aspects of college life. It's easy to get so focused on studying and achieving that you forget to nurture your social needs. Humans are social creatures, and we thrive on connection. College is an ideal place to build meaningful relationships that will support your personal growth and help you navigate the challenges ahead. Start by finding people who share your values and interests. Join clubs, attend events, and connect with classmates who can become your friends and allies. It's important to spend time with people who bring out the best in you, people who support you, challenge you, and make you feel valued. But social self-care isn't just about hanging out with friends, it's also about setting boundaries. It's easy to overcommit yourself socially, especially in the early days of college when you're trying to make a lot of new connections. But constantly saying yes to every invitation or request can quickly lead to burnout. Learning to say no when you need to is an important part of self-care. Protect your time and energy so that you can be present for the things that really matter. One thing to keep in mind is that college is also a time for personal reflection. You'll likely encounter situations that challenge your values and beliefs, and that's part of the growth process. But always take time to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need right now? The answers to these questions will guide you in taking the right steps for your overall well-being. As we wrap up this video, I want you to remember one thing. College is a journey, not a race. Your first year is just the beginning of a much larger chapter in your life. It's okay to not have everything figured out yet. It's okay to struggle, to feel overwhelmed, and to need help. These challenges are a part of growing, and they will shape the person you're becoming. So, take the pressure off yourself to have it all together. Focus on building healthy habits, forming meaningful relationships, setting achievable goals, and taking care of yourself emotionally and physically. If you can do that, you'll not only survive your first year, you'll thrive. Before you go, make sure to check out our previous video, Why Chosen Ones Are Often Lonely or Struggling, The Hidden Truth. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts or any tips you've learned during your first year of college. What's been your biggest challenge? Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.